All right. The camera's recording, but
Am I?
our microphones are not recording. Let me get situated here.
Yeah, why don't you get comfortable?
So comfy. All right, you ready?
Watch this.
Are you recording your mic? 3, 2.
Oh, fuck.
Hey everybody, welcome back.
Welcome back to another Corny Boys. Are we looking into the camera or are we looking at each other?
So after countless requests, after 201 episodes, we are listening to what the fans want. We are recording episodes
via for their eyeballs.
camera.
And I am drinking a White Claw. Today's episode is sponsored by White Claw Mango for the crisp, for the brave.
White Claw. Drink it all, or you'll get the claw.
What are we talking about today? We got a little.
Well, today we are going to talk about everyone's favorite movie from 2021, and that would be Spider-Man No Way Home. Can't come home.
Can't come home anymore.
Aunt May locked the door.
And I know for our listening viewers, you can't see the Spider-Man plate, but for our viewing audience, we have a nice little plate.
We got that from a thrift store.
We got Groot, our little buddy.
Here's our little buddy right here.
We got my little buddy.
And then I got my little buddy.
And
It's going to be a lot more awkward now with the camera. They'll see how often we make intimate eye contact.
Well, episode 201, we touched a lot, but
They
couldn't
couldn't
see us.
So finally, after 201 episodes, every week we got countless comments. Why don't you record it?
And episode 300, we're going to be in the VR space.
VR.
Our virtual
So stay tuned.
watchers.
And then episode 400 is going to be a live performance at Madison Square Gardens. Go ahead and get your tickets now. They are fastly selling out.
I like our screen over here so we can look at ourselves.
We do, if you ever see us looking over here, know that it's because we're looking at ourselves. So,
And we got our matching Hawaiian shirts.
matching Hawaiian shirts. We felt like we just wanted to give you a good vibe tonight. Because everyone's been...
Only good vibes.
It's summertime.
Summer loving
Happened so fast. Summer love.
We should do a podcast musical.
I bet that's never been done before.
Just a straight up... Well, I guess radio shows used to do it back in the day.
That's true. We want to make it... So what if instead of a podcast, this is now a radio show?
Welcome to the Corny Boys!
Corny Boys!
Corn!
Corn! What sound do you make when you eat corn?
Corn! Speaking of corn, I went to several cornfields this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
Just to really get in tune with the corn.
Yeah, and I want the listeners and viewers to know that later this week on our Corny Boys Instagram page, I will be posting said pictures of us frolicking in the corn.
Corn? More corn, Ted?
More corn, but this is not cream corn. This isn't fried corn, not corn fritters. This is legitimate corn sprucing from the ground.
Do you know a lot about agriculture?
I do know quite a bit about agriculture.
Really?
You plant the seed. That's all. That's as far as I've gotten.
Is that chapter 2 is probably what you hear next. Do you have an agriculture book?
No, but it's just all from the streets. I've learned.
I didn't know they had agriculture in the streets.
Hey, cheers, by the way.
Cheers. Cheers. I'm almost done.
With
my apple juice.
You should get another before.
Yeah. We'll get another apple juice.
Okay. Spider-Man Far From Home. Oh, are you gonna go get a...
No, it's Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh.
Far From Home was the other one. Far From Home was episode 150.
Wait, what are we doing today?
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. It's
Read
been...
the back real quick just so you
Yeah,
remember.
let me refresh.
While he does that, I'm going to riff for you.
Oh, you mean Doctor Strange?
Spider-Man meets Doctor Strange.
You know, I'm surprised. Oh no, they're all. No, not all the villains are on here.
Wait, don't talk about that yet.
Oh, spoiler alert! By the way, we didn't.
Spoiler alert for this movie that almost everybody's seen because it's one of the highest-grossing films of all time.
And I don't want to give any spoilers for you, but it might be one of the greatest films of all time. Marvel for you, based on our last week's podcast.
Based on, if you listened to episode 201, know that this was at the top of my list as of last week. Now, it is a new day.
A new day, a new dawn.
And
little Michael Bublé.
Obviously, in preparation for today's episode, I did not rewatch this film this past week. So,
yeah, neither did I.
I'm going in with the notions that I had when I saw it in theaters.
Which are?
We're going to both say, love it or hate it on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Loved it.
Mediocre. I didn't want to say hate it because I didn't hate it.
It's mediocre.
Do you want to dive right in? I have one thing that I want to say about this movie.
Let's say it.
Fan service does not equal a good movie. And you know what's really disappointing?
It's disappointing to you.
All those movie critics out there who've rated this 1 million on Rotten Tomatoes, they just fell for the trap of fan service. Just because it's fun, and like goes towards the viewer's wants and needs doesn't mean it's a good story.
You heard it here, folks. Just because the movie's fun and gives the audience what they want doesn't mean it's good.
Listen, it's true. It's true. That's fan service. Their little banter, I know we're late in the movie now, but like their little jokes that they have amongst each other, they're so dumb and so stupid.
Yeah, you probably didn't get them. That's probably why.
No,
we'll go through them if you want.
It's like Doctor Strange and the butt joke. This web.
But then when you thought about him shooting it out of his butt, wasn't it funny?
Yeah, I guess
because there's a multiverse where Spider-Man shoots webs out of his butt.
So this movie is the start of the multiverse. You know,
Loki would have been the start of the multiverse.
Oh, you're right.
But this movie was what brought it like to the big screen.
Yeah, literally.
The big screen.
Literally the big screen. What else you want to talk about?
All right, so that was our thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home. So now we're going to talk about our favorite ways of preparing squash casserole.
I'm so glad you brought this up. My favorite way, squash casserole is just a dish, so there's only one way to prepare.
It says you.
There's different ways to prepare squash, but...
Squash casserole.
We really should have watched this movie before we...
Alright, let's dive right in. So, the movie opens on... Oh shit. Everybody knows I'm Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, okay. So, yeah, alright. I'm glad you're doing this because you're going to have to explain...
I'm going to have to remind you how the movie works.
You know what's dumb to me about that?
What?
They set that up in the post-credit scene of the last Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to set that up in the movie and not just a post-credit scene?
But at this point, they know that everyone's going to stay for the post-credit scene.
Come on.
But they know. They're like, you're going to stay.
Yeah, but if you're going to have a major plot point going into a next movie, you want that to be part of it. Okay, a post-credit scene is what, 30 seconds? So we launched into a whole other plot point?
That's what they do in all of them.
No. Well, I guess Doctor Strange did.
Doctor Strange did it.
Sort of. This was even bigger deal, because from what I remember, what is it? Far From Home?
Far From Home.
Far From Home, it ended.
Yeah, he drops Mary Jane off in the crowded city, and everyone's like, Spider-Man just dropped this girl off, we don't care. Until then they find out who Spider-Man is. Then they're like, wait, who the fuck is she? Like, he just dropped her off, and now, wait, she knows him. And I'm like, well, she already knew him because he dropped her off at the end of the movie. But we're past that.
All right.
So here's how the end credit scene of Far From Home ends with, like, he's swinging around, he drops her off. He's like, here you go, Mary Jane. Oh, MJ. She didn't go by Mary Jane. She's MJ.
Oh yeah, this is Zendaya.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the biggest craziness of all happened. J.K. Simmons was the same character.
You know, I listen.
And that was all. They kept a good secret because I didn't know anything.
Yeah, I was a fan of that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a fan of that.
Because you know who one of the best just castings and just comic book characters brought to the screen was?
Was it him?
I think it's him.
Just because he looks the most and acts like the most from the comics?
Yeah, and just because he was hilarious in the original 3 Spider.
Yeah.
He's like, just give me this fucking picture. I want the fucking pictures of Spider-Man. He was the most stressed out man in the world. Like, I pictured him sitting in his office. He goes, "If only I had those goddamn pictures of Spider-Man.
Those pictures.
Where's Spider-Man?
Where is he?"
And so he's there, and I was like, "Oh, they got him." I didn't like that he was bald, though. I wish it was the same look, but I get it.
Was that the first time we saw him in the new trilogy?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
In my mind, we've seen him more.
No. He was in this movie.
Why do you think they did that? He was the only holdover. I mean, I know now in the multiverse, kind of
Fan service. It's the point, and I didn't want to say it because it's acknowledging that your point had
validation.
Validation.
I would say I for some reason I enjoyed that part of it. But here's my thing. That was like a nod, like a tip of the hat of, hey,
Remember
Spider-Man
this guy?
fans, remember this? Isn't this fun? There's a point where it's too much fan service. It's like, hey, look at this. Joke.
But
blah, 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 blah,
I
blah, blah.
think the thing was that was the point of this one was
I know, but no. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Fan service is lazy. You could have. I was so excited for this movie, for the possibility. Spoiler. For the possibility that other Spider-Mans and Tobey Maguire, my favorite Spider-Man, right or wrong, maybe it's nostalgia. Doesn't matter. I was fine with that, but they relied too easily on like, oh, we'll just toss in a joke here and there, and just like make it happen, like force them together. I don't know. It just seemed lazy.
okay.
And boring. It was a boring movie.
Oh, you were bored.
Literally, yes. It was a boring movie. Last week in the podcast, I used the word "like" a bunch.
Like a teenage girl.
Like a teenage girl.
So
and it really disturbed me, so I'm going to try not to use that.
Think about it. Think about really overthink what you're saying this week, so that way, like, our content is like really like limited, and just like I just want you to really like hear what like you're saying.
So like I see what you're like trying to get across, but that's my filler. I don't know what else. Is it better than Like see, I just said like again.
Yeah. Let's think of
Damn
good
it.
fillers right now. Let's waste a little bit of time.
Cream cheese, jelly. What else?
I wasn't even thinking that. But now I just picture you sitting here going. And anyway, the movie was just cream cheese, jelly, jams. Are you a jelly guy or a jam guy?
What's the difference again? I always forget.
This is a Google question.
I'm so glad you asked.
All of you tuning in to hear our thoughts and opinions on Spider-Man.
Bet you didn't.
I bet you're not ready to find out the difference between a jelly and a jam.
I'm gonna guess. One of them is like a preservative, and one is a like from the fruit.
But the third thing that came up on Google was jelly versus jam versus preserves.
Oh. Click on it.
All right, jelly. Jelly is made with strained fruit juice. There are no pieces of fruit in jelly. Jelly is made with mashed fruit, and preserves have whole fruit or large
you said that
pieces
wrong.
of fruit.
You used jelly twice. Jam is made with mashed fruit. You said jelly.
Can you edit that out? Here, I'm going to say jam really loud now, and then when you edit this, you just edit
Jam!
Jam! Edit that in. And on the camera, too.
I keep forgetting we're being filmed.
Jam.
This was what I was spanking last
That's
episode.
not all he was spanking, if you know what I'm saying. So, I found my little podcast buddy.
Oh yeah, you didn't have a podcast buddy last time.
This is Shrek. Except in Shrek 2, if you remember the scene where he's in her bedroom and he's in his underwear, they made this a figure.
Well, what's interesting is I don't remember that, first of all. So, you know what, we were talking off air about how it's small for our podcast listener. It's very small, maybe 2 inches. which means it's
And
for
2 inches isn't necessarily small. Let us rephrase. 2 inches
Sorry.
isn't necessarily small. It's an average size.
Size toy. I don't want to take anything away.
Yeah. But like,
this
it's
is-
smaller than other action figures.
Right, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with being
but
smaller.
that
Implicates that this is not a
yes.
toy that was made for small children. Which means either Underwear Shrek was advertised towards older children or adults. And I've had this since I was a kid. And so I've always been fascinated. And I didn't think it was weird until we moved one time.
Yeah.
And I was moving it and I went, it's weird that I have a Shrek toy in his underwear. Like, not like a Shrek, just regular clothed Shrek, but like it's in his underwear.
How many do you think of those little underwear
Exist?
Shreks exist in this
I
world?
don't know, because I was hunting through Google for this. Because I needed to know,
I keep forgetting.
and I couldn't find any evidence that this toy exists. So those of you watching, have you ever seen this?
Put in the comments. Have you ever seen Naked Shrek?
Call in now.
When I say Naked Shrek, I mean no.
This toy, not the internet Naked Shrek. I'm sure you've all seen that. Because we've
we've
all seen a Naked
we've
Shrek.
all clicked through and found our way.
Right.
I mean,
We all had a phase. But here, I'm going to hold it closer.
I remember my phase. Hold it closer to the microphone for our listeners.
Oh, yeah. Here, listeners, this is my Shrek toy. I really like that. If you decide to watch, that gag's probably a lot funnier.
Yeah.
Because if you're listening, you're like, oh, you just can't. It's not the same.
You know, I need to. What do you think about this beard? I haven't shaved in a while.
Can I touch it?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Long. I shaved mine.
You did, and for the listeners at home, you asked me about it. I said, I think we're going to be filming this one, and you said,
Should I shave?
Yeah, and I said, who cares? But you did, and you look very
I
handsome.
did shave. The reason why I shaved is just because I had an event last week where I had to look a little nicer. So
What was the event?
I had to go recruit at a school.
Oh,
So I
recruiting
figured
for what? Our podcast?
I'm recruiting listeners. So I said, can I?
We may need.
Yeah. I said, do you like podcasts? And they said, no. And I said, you should check out Two Corny Boys. And then when I said on SoundCloud, they proceeded to give me their SoundCloud.
They're like, I got some mad beats.
I got Mad Beats on SoundCloud, and I was like, oh, I have Mad Podcasts on SoundCloud.
You know, we should look into where to put this. I just don't know how.
YouTube.
Oh, the boob tube. The boob tube, ladies and gentlemen. The boob
And
tube.
guess what? We found the first 200 episodes.
Oh, yes.
It turns out
Yeah.
we put them on a 8-track player. We record them on 8-track
With 8-bit music.
with 8-bit music. So the only way you'll be able to listen to that is if you have an 8-track player. Nobody has an 8-track player.
We're gonna have that one person. We have one listener in Mexico. Thank you to whoever you are. So there's probably somebody in this world.
Gracias.
Was it you?
No, not thank you. Gracias. To our one listener in Mexico.
Oh! I thought you were
No,
Yeah,
I'm not
sorry.
saying it was me. I'm saying
Lo Siento.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias?
Gracias. Speaking of grass, I saw some corn this weekend.
You already said that!
I know, but look, our listeners.
We love
the
corn.
research shows that our listeners love.
We've done the
Corn.
analytics. And on
corn
episodes,
is what they want.
on episodes we don't talk about corn, we have lower listenership. Then when we talk about corn, numbers are through the roof.
Yeah, and I've gotten a lot of questions this week about our profile picture of us with corn and our heads through the corn.
Yeah.
And I said, shut the hell up, get out of my face, I don't have time to answer you. Don't ask me questions.
I like when you get assertive.
Yeah. But I don't want to answer that question. I feel a little...
So we went to a corn maze. And
well, I guess you.
That's the story. I mean, there's a corn cutout, you know. So I realized why it was look confusing. We didn't physically become corn.
Right.
There was a cutout, and you
Important-
put your face in it.
Important distinction.
Like this. Does this look good?
Look at me.
We put our faces in like this, and
You ever seen a baby being birthed?
No. Can you show me?
Yeah, I'll show you. Ready?
Oh! Did you have a full beard when you were a baby?
Yeah. Anyway, that was my impression.
That
of,
was
Baby
our
Reborn.
impression. And everyone knows the highest form of comedy is impressions.
That is the top notch. I mean, I'll go see anybody doing a good impression.
Dude, you know what?
What?
No photos.
Oh. We don't have any photos. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
So, let's talk about was there anything you liked about it? What did you like about the movie?
Honestly, not a whole lot.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Here's what, I mean, it's been what? When did this movie come out?
December.
You know what sticks in my mind the most?
What?
What's Peter Parker's friend's name?
Ned.
He, for some bullshit reason, he gets the ring thing from Doctor Strange, or one of the Strange people.
Right.
And in the kitchen, or wherever the hell they are, he's talking, like his hand just does this, and it makes the freaking portal to get Garfield in the picture. And I'm like, who's like talking and is like, oh, I don't know what I should do.
Do you not
Portal.
talk with your hands a lot?
I'm not a freaking DJ.
I talk with my hands a lot, and that's a common motion. If I had the little Doctor Strange ring, this would have opened up a portal.
Here's what happened. Here's what makes me angry. In the writers' room, there are several writers sitting around. They're like, how do we get Ned? How do we get Ned to open this portal? And they're like, oh, okay. And some guy in the back, some intern, raised his hand, was like, oh, I don't know, just get his hands to move in a circle.
But if you don't...
And they're like, my God.
See, earlier in the movie...
My God. If you tell me that he says that he was some magic being, that's another intern, and the other, even further back, who was like, well, how is he magical? And someone's like, just have him say it like an hour before. Like, what laziness.
Hour 15 before.
Oh, because it's a long...
Yeah, it's a long... It is a long movie. But see, you say that. We saw Batman back in March. Batman was 3 hours.
That was a long
Batman
movie.
felt like it was forever.
There were several times and then I thought it was over. I was like, oh, thank God it's over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
And then in this movie, I saw it twice in theaters. And both times, I wasn't like, oh my God, this feels like it's been going on forever. It felt...
You saw this movie twice in the
I
theater?
did see it twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
I enjoyed it because it was a good movie. And I'm going to tell you why.
Oh.
So...
Sorry, you keep addressing... I need to address them.
Yeah, address our audience.
Sorry. Portal.
Seduce them.
Portal.
It's about eye contact.
Oh, hello. Thank you for coming to Corny Boys.
If you're watching, this one's for you. So it's a good movie for a lot of reasons. I just did a filler. I just did an What sounds better, or like?
For sure.
Really?
When I heard myself say like,
it made you
it
mad.
made me cringe.
Did I have a filler? What was my filler? Was it
I didn't notice yours.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm probably a better speaker than you are.
You know, most of the not reviews, feedback from people. They're like, oh, like it was really fun. Our 20 listeners, they were like, oh, damn it, like they said, oh, it's so funny. Macaulay's so funny.
Oh,
and I was like,
and you're like, what about? Was there anybody else that was funny? And they were like,
anybody else there that you thought?
I don't know, like there was somebody that I think walked through the room. It was kind of funny.
Listen, I know my role in this.
What is it? The guy that hates movies. The guy that tries to down. And you know what?
Don't throw me.
Guess what? Guess what? One of our listeners, my fiance, said that sometimes I'd let you steamroll over my opinions, and it's not going to happen this week, listeners.
I steamroll over your opinion?
Well, she said that, like, you would say something like, oh, I guess that's true. And then, like, disregard my own opinion. And so guess what? Spider-Man No Way Home is a good movie. And Aaron's wrong.
And here's 5 reasons.
5 reasons why. Number 1, amazing writing. Portal opened.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Why are we doing 2 like that? Number 2.
How do you do 2?
For the listeners, I'm doing not a normal 2.
He's doing his pinky and his middle finger.
Well, you know what they say.
Pinky and middle finger means that you're gonna take it.
Take who? Take what from who?
I don't know.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and No Way Home.
No way are we getting home.
No way are we getting home. So first of all, we open up. Everybody knows I'm Spider-Man. And what I liked, I was afraid we were going to spend too long on that. I think we spent enough time on it. First 15 minutes of the movie, would you say? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And it was over. And it gave me what I called from the first trailer. Remember when we watched the first trailer?
Yeah.
And who did I say was going to be in this movie?
Yeah, Murdoch, baby.
I said Daredevil's going to be in this movie.
Okay.
I wasn't right about when he was going to be in the movie.
No, here's what's done. Sorry, I'm steamrolling.
No, go ahead and say your point so I can disprove it. Go ahead.
No, I love the series Daredevil, so I was
Yes.
all for it. I was like, oh yeah, bring him in. Oh, I love him. He was there for like 3 seconds.
But listen, did you want him to suit up?
I mean, yeah. Am I supposed to say no?
I don't think you suit him up in this. I think this was establish he's here. Establish it.
Okay.
Because that's the thing. At this point,
But
if
let
he
him
had
do
suited...
more lawyer stuff. Like I want to see him in action. The
Yeah.
only way we got a nod that he was Daredevil was someone threw a brick through the house, and he's like, "Oh, how'd you do that?" And he's like,
He said, it's because I'm a good lawyer. And we all know that good lawyers can sense when rocks are coming through windows.
If there's one thing I look in a lawyer, it's
that he can sense when he's rocked
when bricks
through
are
windows.
thrown at me.
That's a class in law school.
We know a lawyer. We should call him in and ask about that class.
Yeah. You'd be like, we're going to discuss an episode where... No, we're going to have an episode where we discuss one scene from Spider-Man. We're going to talk about Spider-Man, but no, the one scene with the brick. We don't want to hear your opinion on that.
I don't care about your opinions.
Yeah.
I just want to know the brick.
But no, listen. In this movie, I felt the point was to establish it because you might not know this, but Hawkeye was also coming out at that point, week to week.
The series?
Yes.
Okay.
And the episode that came out that Wednesday introduced Kingpin.
The actor from
Daredevil.
the same person.
Yeah. And so, to me, I was like, oh, that confirms, without a doubt, that Matt Murdock is about to be the guy from
And
the
a
series.
part of that universe, not
Yeah.
another. Which
They already, I think they did establish, because, like, in that first season of Daredevil, they bring up, like, the incident, and they talk about, oh, you remember in New York when
I
aliens...
don't remember that, really.
Yeah.
I
But
need
they
to
were,
watch
like,
that.
beating around the bush just enough so, like, you could be like, oh, maybe it's not? But they were like...
Maybe it's not.
Like, you all remember what happened in New York with the alien. And they looked at the audience and they winked. They were like...
Okay, it wouldn't surprise me out of this movie. They're like,
No, that was
we're all Spider-Mans and
that was
we're
in
all
your
here.
Daredevil series. That was your precious Daredevil series. Yeah. Yeah, you're cool for adult. I'm
Damn.
Marvel for adults. They're like, oh, you
We're
know,
so edgy.
you know what's really cool? Fights in hallways. Again, they are really cool, but we should play
Who did it better,
drinking.
Batman, the hallway scene with the guns, or Daredevil?
Daredevil.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Remember, I didn't like Batman. We'll talk about that another week. We're here to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home and
Spider-Man.
why it was a good movie. So we start
why
off.
it
We
was a
don't
very
spend too long
mediocre
on
movie.
everyone finds out you're Spider-Man. It was good. I didn't want to see a whole courtroom proceeding where he was like, now here's me being a good lawyer. Because what does that do? You now go home and you're like, I want to see that guy as a lawyer. And what do you do? What do you do?
Law and Order.
You watch Daredevil. He wasn't in Law and Order. He was in Daredevil.
Yeah, but I want Law and Order MCU.
You're in luck because She-Hulk is probably going to be there.
Oh, that's right. But you
Because
told me
she's a
She-Hulk
lawyer.
was supposed to be terrible.
No, I didn't.
You told me that.
Maybe she's going to be terrible.
Didn't you say that people were watching it or like?
No, I don't think any test footage has come out for that one yet.
Oh, that was a different person then.
You talking about podcast stuff with somebody else?
Yeah, my other podcast.
What's your other podcast? Do you want to plug it?
Yeah, Two Great Boys. We're just a couple of guys talking about grapes.
Do you like Spider-Man No Way Home in that podcast?
I love it.
Really?
Man, I love it in that podcast. I talk about all the fan service, how servicey it is.
Okay.
and all the jokes.
What
And
joke? Like, what joke did you hate? Like, what was the joke you hated?
I don't even remember. I just remember rolling my eyes. Not literally, but I just remember being like, there's that like word. Damn it. I just remember being...
Use better fillers.
Jelly.
Cream cheese.
Cream cheese doesn't really fill a lot.
No, you spread it on a bagel.
Yeah. I was thinking of like the donut pup, like the...
For those of you that are just listening rather than watching, Aaron decided to show me a donut by shoving 2 fingers into a handmade hole.
Yeah, but that's a donut. Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Donut.
I think I'm gonna get another White Claw, but I'm gonna have to get up and walk out.
So this is probably the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen.
Do you want to vamp or do you want to cut? How do you want to proceed?
I'll vamp.
Okay.
I'll vamp. I'll proceed to talk shit about you. So, here's 5 reasons why Aaron is an idiot. Number 1, we have that he, at one point, had a pet snake that he lost very many times. And had the snake gotten big enough, it would have wanted to eat him.
I lost her, Deborah, you're speaking of. I lost her twice, but the second time was for a few months. So I understand why you think it was multiple times, but it was.
But it was more than once.
Yeah.
And do you know that, like, essentially, if your snake was big enough, it would have just eaten you.
Let's be clear. She wanted to eat me.
She never loved you.
How dare you? She loved me. She just wanted to eat me.
I guess it's true.
You know how, like, when you see something, you're like, oh, you're so cute. I just want to eat you up.
Oh, it was like that?
Yeah.
She thought you were so cute?
Yeah, but she literally wanted to digest me.
She's like,
consume
you
me.
would taste so good.
Deborah. White Claw.
Let's just say her name's now Deborah. Got him!
Too soon. She's been dead for 5 years?
Years.
6 years? White Claw.
White
We're sponsored by White Claw, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, lemon
gluten
flavor.
free. Now in lemon.
What is gluten?
I'm so glad you asked. I've been wanting to talk about this for 200 episodes. Gluten is a stretchy thing within wheat.
What is? Did you say Queet? Did you say Queet or wheat?
I see your confusion. What is a queet?
A queet? What is a queet? No, there is a T. Is there a T at the end? Queet.
Yes, queet. Queet. Queet.
Queet. Queet. Interesting.
Anyway, that's
Oh
all.
wait, you didn't explain what queet.
That
Queet.
Our viewers want to know about corn, not queet.
I apologize. Maybe you should start a third podcast. 2 Queety boys.
2 queety boys.
Queety boys. Spider-Man. There's no way he's getting home. All right.
Not that attitude, he ain't.
So, we spent, in my opinion, just enough time getting over that he's Spider-Man. Everybody knows. One of my favorite scenes in the movie was the teacher that was a total conspiracy theorist. When he goes back to school, one of the teachers is like, we know what you did. You're a murderer. You killed Mysterio.
I don't remember this at all.
It's the 3 of them, and they set up the little shrine.
Yeah,
and 2 of them are like, welcome back. You can come on in. You can just be at school. And you can walk down the halls or climb on the ceiling. We all know you could do it.
Ah, see, boo.
What? It was funny. And then the one guy was sitting there like totally being like a conspiracy. Like, nah, I believe him. I know what you did. You killed Mysterio was right.
Did they forget about Mysterio?
No.
So at the end of No Way Home, they think Spider-Man is still a bad guy.
No. They just forget who They forget who he is. So I guess they probably still assume like it's the guy that killed Mysterio.
They never address that.
I don't know who he is.
Spider-Man still a villain?
Maybe. More of a villain, vigilante.
No, he's a villain. If everyone hates him,
That's true.
he's a villain.
We'll get there.
If they think that he
Then
murdered,
killed
a
Mysterio
superhero-
still, and I guess that's not addressed because they just forget who Peter Parker is.
Right, they didn't forget who Spider-Man was. What's his name? Colin Feig? Kevin
Feige. Colin Feig. You're Colin. Feig.
Colin. Somebody call Colin.
Colin. Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige. We should email him and let him know.
Is Spider-Man? Do they remember that Spider-Man killed Mysterio, or did they forget that too? It's not addressed. It's unimportant.
Well, I would think that's important if people still hate Spider-Man. Now, okay, to be fair, even in like
There's some people that like because they were saying like he didn't do it because we were in the end of the court case. They were like, he's.
This is going to be a stupid question. Is the court case, or was the court case about him killing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was he found not guilty?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then he has to worry about the court of public opinion. Daredevil says that.
Whoa.
Well, sorry, he's not Daredevil yet. We don't know that.
How dare you?
Matt Murdock
Matt Murdock.
said you have to worry about the court. It's fascinating that you know the fictional character in that movie, but not the guy that's in charge of like the whole Marvel thing, whose name we literally said last week. But you're like, whoa, Daredevil, you mean Matt Murdock? Over here, like you read every Daredevil comic in the world, like.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never read a comic.
Ever?
Ever.
Did you know that Daredevil's costume was originally yellow?
No way. Ew. Like a mustard color. I'll vamp while you're looking up yellow costumes.
That's his original yellow and black. Everybody go look up original Daredevil costume while you're here. That's
Sorry, I got a scary warning on my.
What did
I hope we were recording.
what did it say?
It was just like, nah, dog.
Is it not like you got a scary recording? You got some scary test results. You went positive, and he went, "Oh, what test is that for?"
Oh.
It's yellow and black. His
man,
original
how come-
costume.
Oh.
He is still blind.
Yeah, look at that.
He's always blind.
He's always blind. You know, I learned how to do a backflip based on Ben Affleck's Daredevil movie. I was on the trampoline and I was pretending to be him because I loved that movie as a kid.
Were you blindfolded?
I was not blindfolded. And I was like pretending like I was fighting and like get the girl at the end. And I accidentally did a backflip. And I landed it and I was like, I'm the coolest human alive.
Coolest guy
And then I
alive.
made out with the pretend girl.
Have you watched that movie recently, Daredevil?
No.
Well, I watched it a few months ago. Wow. Wow.
Wowie gang.
John Favreau is in it.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Why? How?
He's the buddy. He's Matt Murdock's little buddy.
Is that how he was introduced to the Marvel world?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
No, maybe.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
How long did that come out before
Iron Man? I got Daredevil. And I have a computer for me I could look it up, but that's no fun. Because I want you, the listeners, to tell me how wrong I am. Daredevil 2002, 2003 maybe?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I remember I didn't understand it. I was like, how does powers work?
What is Queet?
They talk about Queet in Daredevil. What does Queet mean? Anyway, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
We spent just enough time. I felt like it wasn't like time wasted, where it's like half the movie was gonna be he's Spider-Man. How's he gonna deal with that? I'm glad they were just like, who cares? He's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man? I mean, I dozed out for a second. And it's not that you were boring.
Well, remember, listeners, remember who you thought was really funny and who was just a boring bag of Queet.
Listen. Boring
A
bag.
big old boring bag of Queet.
Here, okay. The reason why I was being a good producer. I was thinking about how much time we had left, and maybe we should split this into part 1 and part 2. Spider-Man No Way Home is a classic for the ages.
I'm glad you said that, because I do think that.
No. Here's the thing. This movie will not age well.
Why?
It's not a good movie.
Why won't it age well?
Because it's not a good movie.
What if you're wrong? There's only one way we can confirm it. In 10 years, we have to remake this exact episode and actually rewatch it.
That's an interesting question. Do you think that Marvel movies will hold up like classics like... I don't know. We'll give it throw out...
They're out a classic film that everybody loved.
I was going to say a classic, but I don't... I mean, for me, it feels like a classic because I'm younger. But, like... One Flew Over...
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That Cuckoo's Nest? A Cuckoo's Nest?
The Cuckoo's Nest.
Braveheart. Gladiator. I mean, that's more recent. But those stand the test. Like, people still consider those great films. Do you think in 20, 35 years, people will be just swooning over Spider-Man No Way Home?
I think so.
No.
And
no
here's why. Spider-Man 2, almost a 20-year-old movie at this point. People still love that one. People still say it holds up.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, let's get into this movie.
Sorry.
We're going to get into it.
Yeah.
Queet over here keeps getting off topic. So, we figured out he's Spider-Man. People are like, I don't know how I feel about that guy. And they don't get into college. I'm like, what are we going to do now that we're not in college? We're not going to get into college. And then he's like, Doctor Strange.
Oh, because they can't get into college because everyone hates them.
Yeah, they're like, you the spider people, you're not coming to our
You
college.
the spider crew.
Even though if I was a college admissions, kind of be like, we're going to get Spider-Man there?
Yeah, bring him on.
Come on in!
Come on!
Come on in!
Yeah. Again, okay, you're proving my point about how dumb this movie is.
Yeah, but the dumb parts lead to brilliance. And so then they're like, I gotta get us into college. It's kind of like an American Pie movie. Like, how are we gonna get into college? And it's like, what if we throw a huge party where everybody forgets Spider-Man?
If they make a crossover version of Spider-Man
Meets American Pie.
meets American Pie, that would be the greatest movie of all time.
We could write it.
Call Colin Keeve.
Colin Keevey. We got the idea for you.
Bye, Golly.
So now they're like, how are we going to get into college? And then he's like, Doctor Strange will make everyone forget. And it's weird that Halloween decoration looked almost exactly like Doctor Strange.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Because he thinks about this because he's like, a light. Wizards. Doctor Strange.
Again, writer's room. They're like, how do we get him to think of Doctor Strange?
How would you do it?
The one he saved the universe with. And the only way for him to remember, I have a magical friend, is to look up into a Halloween decoration and go, oh yeah, I do know him.
But he's too busy thinking about how he's going to get into college. Why would you think about Doctor Strange when you're trying to get into college? Did you think about Doctor Strange when you were trying to get into college?
Not once.
Yeah, exactly. But you never saw Halloween. I bet I just seen all. You'd be like, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
And so he goes to him and he's like, make everyone just forget. And first of all, there's a bunch of snow in there.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Magic.
Is it just to show that he's magical?
It's just to show magic.
If he's magical, couldn't you just get rid of it instantly?
No. That's not how magic works. Aren't you a magician?
No, I'm a Queet, as you called me.
Big old Queet.
Big old Queet.
And Wong's over here like, bro, if you use that spell, if you even think about using that spell, I'll kill you.
I will fucking kill you.
I'll murder you. And Doctor Strange is like, okay, we won't do it. And he's like, we're gonna do it. And then I will say one of the things that, he's like, we're doing the spell, and Peter's like, I'm gonna talk, and Doctor Strange's like, you're so fucking annoying. If you don't shut up. And he's like, we're done. And he gets mad at him. He's like, you didn't even talk to the admissions advisors? And he's like, what? You're so stupid. And I'm like, no high schooler's like, man, I didn't get in. I better call him. I better call and go, why?
Why?
Think again. Because at college, if they didn't want you, they'd go, all right, we'll think again. No, we still don't. I still don't want you.
Not everyone's friends with Doctor Strange.
And then he just finds this woman on the highway. He's like, you should reconsider. And I'm like, if I was her, I'd be like, you should leave me alone.
Yep, but she wasn't. She kind of liked it.
She was like, oh, spider guy.
Oh, look at the spider guy.
Oh, spider dude.
Oh, thank you so much, Spider Dude.
Spider dude?
That was when old Four Eyes was walking into the picture.
4 arms.
8 arms. Octopussy.
He has 6 arms because 4 robotic ones and 2 human ones. Unless you count his leg.
Wait, did that make him an insect? Isn't he Octoman?
He is Doc Ock.
Octoman.
He's like, and then mechanical arms come out, and Tom Holland's like, oh shit, arms.
Oh shit, arms.
Arms. This point, a guy has fought Thanos, and he's like, oh shit, arms.
This goes back into last week, how there's no consistency between who and what they can fight.
Well, and here's something. This is one of the things I think the movie did amazingly at the end. And we'll skip ahead to the end for this one topic.
Okay.
All the time, Spider-Man holds back his power. Because if he went all out, and you see it at the end when he's fighting the Green Goblin, he misses a punch, and it, like, dents this, like, statue. And it's like, had he hit him, that would be a dead man.
If Spider-Man hit him?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
He has increased strength. And so it's important to remember, like, this is a person that, like, I think it shows, like, the control he has over his power. Because in, like, the original ones, there's points where, like, he's punching, like, Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2. And you're like, Spider-Man has, like, increased strength. And Doc Ock is still a regular man with robot arms. He should be dead. But it's like, oh, he's holding his punches so, like, he doesn't kill him.
I haven't heard that. You think Spider-Man's holding his punches when
Yes.
he's fighting villains?
Because, and here's another reason why. Another thing this movie did great. Andrew Garfield talks about it. When they're talking about, because he's mad when Aunt May dies. Tom Holland's mad that Aunt May's dead. And Andrew Garfield talks about how Gwen dies, and he's like, I stopped caring, stopped holding my punches, and it got real dark.
Yeah.
Which to me implies, in his universe, he's killed people.
It amazes me how much you pick up in watching these movies. Because all that was said, and now you say it, I'm like, yeah, but I did not think twice about what
Yeah,
was said.
well, it's because you weren't paying attention to this movie. Otherwise, you would think it was good.
No.
But to me, that implies that Andrew Garfield has murdered people in his universe, and I want to see that Spider-Man universe.
Well, you were telling me there's a possibility that...
I think it's the Sony one with Morbius and Venom, because that way they can still make Spider-Man movies, and wouldn't need Tom Holland.
Do you think they're bringing back Garfield as Spider-Man in this darker universe?
Yes. After the reception, people loved him. When he came back, people were like, "Yeah, we love you!" But when, like, Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, they were like, "Boo! This sucks! Fuck you!"
I liked him. I thought he was fine.
I like him in Amazing Spider-Man 1. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not good. Amazing Spider-Man 2...
Which villain is Spider-Man?
That was the problem. It was too many villains. Elektra was there. And
Who
then
else was there?
The Green Goblin weirdo was there.
The Green Goblin was not in Amazing
Yes,
Spider-Man.
he was!
The Green
Harry
Goblin.
Osborn was in it, and he's like, oh, you have goblin disease. And he's like, I'm becoming a goblin.
What?
Yes.
I don't remember that in the slightest.
And then, at the end, Rhino was in it, because Paul Giamatti was like, I big Rhino man. And then,
Not me.
the biggest enemy of all was that Gwen got into another school, and they weren't going to be able to be together.
The biggest enemy was his son.
Was long distance relationships.
What a terrible...
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the killer. And she died.
Spoilers.
What? Oh, spoiler for Amazing Spider-Man 2 that came out in 2014. Sorry.
Those
But it's
movies
weird
are
if you've
fine.
seen this one and not that one.
This movie is on par with those movies. They're just fine. They're all fine. I didn't walk away going, wow, what a great movie.
Because you weren't paying attention.
No, I was
clearly.
paying attention.
You missed a lot. So then they fought on the bridge, and he's like, I own your suit now. This belongs to me.
Speaking of suits, can I say something?
Yeah.
Why do they CGI Spider-Man's suit in this series?
Because it's robot.
No, not all the time. I hate it. I despise it. If you put Tom Holland in a freaking Spider-Man suit, he's Spider-Man, so loading him up with little dots and making him a gray little figure running around the streets. Put him in a mother flippin' Spider-Man suit because he's mother flippin' Spider-Man.
How long have you worn a Spider-Man suit for? Continuously.
When I was a kid, I used to pray to God that he would make me Spider-Man. And that's not an exaggeration. I would lie in bed and say, "Dear God, I know this is crazy, but please make me Spider-Man."
You could have done it. Tom Holland became Spider-Man, it was like 2017?
Yeah, but no, I wanted the actual superpowers.
Oh!
Like, I want...
Did you...
Sorry, I wasn't praying to be an actor. I was praying to be...
Did you intentionally get
Spider-Man.
bit by spiders in the hope that it would... You, like, had a collection of spiders that every day would bite me. Like, one day you had to go to the hospital and your mom's like, we gotta stop. You gotta stop it with
Listen,
these
Aaron,
spiders. There's too many spiders. Your dad found your spider collection. He goes, he's collected spiders again. Aaron, what are you doing to yourself?
Aaron's getting bit.
Aaron, you're gonna kill yourself doing this.
The little bites all.
Bites, you're like, Dad, you're allergic. You have puffed up face. Dad, I just want to be Spider-Man.
All I wanted was Spider-Man.
He goes, it's not real, Aaron. It's not real.
I almost broke my parents' marriage over.
Your mom was like, take it easy on him.
Just let him dream.
Let
Jay.
him dream. No! Barry, I've had enough! I've had enough! I refuse to raise this boy!
Needless to say, I never became Spider-Man.
That's exactly what Spider-Man would say, though. He wouldn't tell you he was Spider-Man. He would just tell you. Unless you're Tom Holland Spider-Man, in which case he would tell everybody.
Yeah.
I'd like to go through and rewatch these and see... Because Andrew Garfield, everyone knows that man is Spider-Man.
In the universe?
Yeah. Because at one point, he and Gwen are talking, and he, like, leaves her there, and she goes, Peter! And he goes, oh, no, I said Peter really loud. And I'm like, everyone around you now knows. Is that Peter Parker?
How do you remember all this? I don't understand.
Maybe you're just not good at movies. What do you do when you watch movies? You play on your phone? It sounds like you play on your phone.
I write other movies.
You write a movie. Do you fix the movie?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see your version of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, it's incredible.
Really? So then, he beats Doc Ock.
Oh, really? Back to the story.
And Doctor Strange's like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
There's guys here. Spider-Man's like, huh. And he's like, do you know that's who Spider-Man is? Doc Ock's like, yeah. He goes, is this Spider-Man? He goes, I've never seen this man before in my life.
I don't know who this guy is.
I don't know who this guy is.
I don't know who this fucking guy is.
But I want the sun. Give me the sun in my hand.
I don't know who he is, but I want the sun.
And so Doctor Strange's like, bro, we gotta find these freaking guys. And so he's like, let's go on a quest. And he's like, but first I need to get my two friends help for no reason. Because Ned and MJ don't help him at all. They're just there to be like, we're helping.
How dare you?
Oh, sorry. Ned's your favorite character. I forgot.
How dare you? He does the spinning wheel
Yeah.
to get Garfield in the universe.
His name is Andrew.
Oh my god.
My God.
My god.
So then they're going to hunt down. They're going on the hunt. They're like, we gotta find these guys, and they gotta get them into the.
Thor never really shows up for this movie.
Good job. You really.
I watched the whole thing and Thor never showed
never
up.
once
Not once.
there.
Not once.
I don't think they name dropped him.
Ganondorf?
Ganondorf.
God, no, sorry. What's the name of his planet? Gilead?
It's Asgard.
Asgard!
Asgard. Gilead. Gilead.
That sounds close.
Gilead.
I mean, I know what the Gilead is, but I'm saying the word.
You're thinking of the Iliad. the Iliad and the Odyssey? Is that what you were thinking
I mean, no, but yes.
of? Are you trying to be the funny guy this week? Is that what it is? First Queet and then the Gilead.
It just shows you how poor I did in all my AP language arts courses.
Don't lie to us. I mean, you can say remedial. You can
all
say
my
remedial. Yeah, I mean, none of us thought it was AP. It's okay.
All my
All my remedial ones.
remedial classes.
Do you want to move on before everyone gets
Yeah. We'll just cut that.
If we cut that out, will you cut out my jam incident from earlier? My jam jelly incident?
No, we're keeping both.
Oh, alright, we're keeping both! So then he has to go on the quest to catch everybody, and Doctor Strange's like, magic webs. And he's like, why? This could have helped with so many other things.
Magic webs?
He gets him the web shooters that put him in the cage when he shoots the webs at him. Did you look at did you watch this movie? Are you sure?
It was such an average.
I think you just
movie,
read a
I just
review
forgot about
online. You just read a review online.
Here's the problem. Those details don't matter to me. Because what do they do to the story? It doesn't matter how you capture the bad people. It doesn't matter.
So
all I know is that he did.
You think we should have just done a montage where like it was like a Scooby-Doo where they were chasing through all the doors, and then like da-da-da-da. And then like at one point Spider-Man chased them, and then they turn around, they're chasing Spider-Man.
That would be a way better movie.
And then like at one point the Globetrotters show up.
It all comes full circle. Here's the thing. My point is, it doesn't matter how they got captured. The point is that they got captured.
You're right, it doesn't, because they also... that was my other fear. I was like, is this going to be a whole movie about him capturing them, and then, like, that's the majority of the movie? But they didn't. He's like, hey, what are you going to do with them? And he's like, I'm going to send them back. And they're all like, oh, shit, do I die? And they're all, the ones from the future are like, yeah, you're dead.
The future?
Yeah. So, like...
They're not from the future.
Oh my God, let me talk. Let me finish. So
Doc steamrolling.
Yeah, Doc Ock sees Norman Osborn and goes, "You're fucking dead." And Norman's like, "What do you mean I'm dead? I'm not dead."
But that's not from the future. He just died in the past.
Yeah, but Ock is from the future to Norman. To Norman Osborn, Doc Ock is from the future because he's like, "Dude, you're dead. You're deado."
Yeah, but on the in the timeline.
Yeah, not in this timeline, but in their timeline.
But there's no past, future, and it's just there.
But there has to be a future, because if there was all just nothing, Doc Ock.
Wait. No, I would argue that it's not it's not a time difference. It's a universe difference. So the universe he comes from, he didn't die, right?
He did, because he came from the one with Tobey Maguire.
It could still be two different universes.
I think it's the one with Tobey Maguire.
Well, it could be Tobey Maguire. You can have multiple.
The same one because they knew each other.
You can have two different universes where they know each other.
And then the Sandman was there.
Just like Doctor Strange knew who everybody else was. What's his love interest name? I don't know the character.
You have to tell me.
Bridget.
It's really close. It's Christine.
Christine. He knew who Christine was in every timeline.
Okay.
It was just different.
So anyway, there's bad guys in it.
Hey, look, don't hate me for speaking truth.
And they come from the same timeline. It's the same ones from the movies you watched. Because if it was from different movies, why would I care? I'm like, this isn't the Green Goblin that I watched in Spider-Man 1?
No, it is. It's essentially the same. So you're telling me there's time travel along with universe travel?
Sure.
Why?
Because they all die fighting Spider-Man. Even though not all of them die fighting Spider-Man. Sandman didn't die fighting Spider-Man.
Who?
Sandman.
Oh, Sandman.
The lizard didn't technically die. They just put him in a little cage. They're like, you're in a little cage now.
You're in a little cage now.
You're going to be in a little cage. You stay in there.
That's basically what this movie is.
Yeah, but he gets out. He didn't stay in there. And then they all get out. Well, first he fights Doctor Strange. He goes, hey, not gonna work. And then he beats this man that's supposed to be like incredibly intelligent. He goes, it's cooler than magic? Physics. And Doctor Strange's like, oh no, you beat me using science. And I'm like, you're a doctor.
You are science.
You were a doctor. I'm sure you took a physics class.
Yeah, and he's a genius doctor.
Yeah, and then Peter Parker's like, I beat you with science. And I'm like, cool.
Again, lazy storytelling. How do we get rid of Doctor Strange for this whole movie? I don't know, just throw him into a parallel universe where he gets stuck in, even though he's the one who can get out pretty easily.
He can. He took his ring.
Oh.
I took the ring. Yeah, you probably missed that when you weren't paying attention to
How
anything.
did Doctor Strange get back without the ring?
Magic.
Because he gets back without the ring, right?
Magic. I don't know. They probably explain it. Remember, I haven't seen this movie since
Yeah, you
December.
had incredible details already.
Yeah, but I don't care about Doctor Strange.
Anyway,
Then they get out and he's like, I'm going to help all of you. Want to help you.
We're at an hour. Do you want to...
We're going to keep going.
What, you want to do a part 1 and part 2?
We're going to keep
Wait, hear me out. If we somehow...
going.
All we have to do... We don't even have to start recording. Just movie magic. I'll just go... Bloop, and then split into 2 so we have different times to...
Sure.
Nobody wants to listen to 2 hours.
27 people did.
I don't know if I listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
I know
Fine,
for a
we'll
fact
split
3 people.
We'll split into part 1 and part 2. Because I have more to say.
Thank you for joining.
Hey, tune in for part 2.
Tune in for part 2
Where we prove that Aaron's wrong and this is actually a good movie.
It's a fine movie. It's
That's
very,
why
very
he wants to end it here so that
mediocre.
for a week you can be like, Aaron's
Yeah,
right.
We'll release it same day.
You heard it here, folks. Same
day delivery, baby. Amazon Prime. Thank you so much for joining. If you don't come into part 2, thank you for joining us on part
Thanks for
1.
at least just staying around for part 1.
I
don't know why you wouldn't watch part 2.
Part 1, an hour into this podcast, we've gotten 20 minutes into this film. And I hope that...
Hope you enjoyed us.
And look how good we look. I mean, honestly, we look pretty good.
All right. I'm hoping that people watch this after listening for 200 episodes and go, wow, those guys are really ugly. I picture them being much more handsome.
Yeah.
I hope they have a
Yeah,
mental
shit
image
about
and
it.
they're like, oh, what a couple of uggos.
Couple of
What a couple of uggos.
Well,
Let's keep it rolling.
thanks for joining.
Should we reintroduce?
No. We haven't ended the first one.
We will see you on...
Go ahead and use your tagline that I liked so much last week.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and go shuck yourself.